Okay, we are live, and I scheduled this for 5 after, give myself a little wiggle room, but turned out I was able to get it started at 5, and a little bit of reflection there on the watch, unfortunately, but couldn't get the angle quite right. But let me see if I can pull this up on the iPad. There's part 2, and let's see what we have here. I really don't like that hum coming through, and I don't know if that's all from the fan. Turn down this. Turn these other pots down just in case they might be causing a little something. I don't think they would be. So that's mic 1. It should be live. Let me know what it sounds like right now, mic 1. And Blue Shirt Buddha's in the house. Stig's in the house. And Carlos says hello from Panama. So this is a continuation. This is part 2 on our elegant watches thing. And actually, I'm going to show a whole bunch of watch photos today. I've got, I did a keyword search on my Flickr, just watches, and a whole bunch of them came up. So I'm going to show some photos of those. And if you guys have any suggestions of any watches we should take a look at, feel free to email me. You know what it is. It's my name, CraigShipp@gmail.com. And we can take a look at whatever you would like to take a look at here on part 2. Move this chair a little bit. Not quite where I want to be. I don't have a chair mat under this one. It's on the carpet, so kind of sinks in. It is what it is. So I hope you guys are all doing great. There's a little bit of unrest happening here in the States, some demonstrations and stuff. People are starting to get a little bit fed up with the government shutdown of private businesses. It used to be, they talk about a government shutdown, and it was the government that was shutting down, right? I was fine with that, but now the government is shutting down the private sector. Not so good, not so good. And Kyle's in the house. He says, hey guys, and Kyle might have a live report from the field today. If you do, Kyle, just let us know in the chat, and you can Skype right in, and we'll take that live report whenever you're ready. And David says hi. So let's take a look at a few photos real quick. There's a thumbnail that I used for the EDC broadcast that we did not too long ago. Actually, that was a while ago. I used that for a video, and then I also used it for the live broadcast. And let's see what we got here. And there's a watch that was at Steve's Timeout Watch Fair, and that was a stunner that was there. And there's the Meister Singer. I like that one-handed watch. That's kind of cool. Just one hand, that would be like 2:30, almost 2:30 p.m. there where it's pointed right now. That's kind of a cool concept, if you ask me. And this one, of course, would not be my choice. This is kind of like a little bit too bizarre for me, for my taste, but some people like, excuse me, like that sort of thing. And we'll keep going. That's some pretty cool detailing on the back of that watch. So this is the type of thing you can see if you go to Steve's Timeout Watch Fair. That's Towson Watch Company. That's a Maryland-based watch company that made those. And the Pride 2. I'm not a chronograph fan, but that's a pretty cool looking one. Again, Towson Watch Company. There's another Meister Singer. Pretty cool. And if you want an unusual watch, an unusual shape, well, there you go. Little something for everybody at Little Treasure. There's a Bremont. And we'll take a look. Too quiet, ready to get moving again, says David. And Lance is in the house. David, are things shut down pretty much in Vegas? Are things pretty much shut down, or are some things open? What's the status there? And Lance is in the house. And let's see. Jipu says howdy. Okay, let's look at a few more watches. Again, these are all at Little Treasury. There's another Meistersinger. Pretty cool. There's another Bremont. Another Meistersinger. That's kind of cool looking. Kind of cool. And that's another Bremont. And Towson Watch Company again. Meistersinger. And Mula? Okay, you guys probably know that there's a Bremont. Mula. That's kind of cool looking. Kind of cool looking. Something different, right? Let's see, are those Meistersingers automatic? I think some of them are. That is a very good question, Lance. I think some of them are. Nothing open yet here in New York. Blue Shirt Buddha says things are shut down in New York. So there you go. Craig sent you a link. Torno pre-owned day-date stunner. Okay, let's take a look at that, Ray. Without further ado, let's do a time check while I pull that up on the email. We got a potential stunner alert coming in via email. A potential stunner alert. And I think this is a 118238. Yes, 118238, 36 mil. And there she blows. And that's got the a black dial. Well, that's interesting. I wonder what year they stopped doing the black dial, because I don't think you can get the black dial now. But I'll tell you what, that's a lot of money. That's pretty close to the money where you could buy a new one. But that, of course, has a black stunner dial, which you can't get on a new one. Yeah, that's too much money, though. I think, you know, you offer them maybe $18,000. Yeah, it's a buyer's market right now, right? So, yeah, if you're a player on that, I would make a lowball offer. And I think you're better off with something like that to find one. Of course, most places are shut down right now, but try to find one local that you can make a cash offer on, because I think that's how you could get a deal on something like that. Find somebody that's really hurting, that's local, and you can make a cash offer. Let's see here. Like most places, only essential businesses open. Natives are getting restless. I'll tell you what, talk about insulting. If you tell somebody their business is not essential, I mean, who do these people think they are? Who does the government think they are to tell somebody that their livelihood, that their business, that their way of life, that what they've built, in some cases over generations, that it is not essential? That is very interesting that they have the gumption to do that. But anyway, this isn't a political show. I try to keep the politics out of it if I can. By the way, I'm wearing this suit is from the Georgetown University shop. It looks a little bit brown. It looks like it has a little more brown in the actual broadcast, but it's more of a very pale green, like a mauve, or I don't know what you would call this color. It's not like army green. It's like a little bit different than that. But anyway, it looks really nice in person. It's a great color for a spring and summer suit. It's a very lightweight wool, and it came from the Georgetown University shop. One of my favorite places back in the day to buy suits was the Georgetown University shop. And of course the Gitman Brothers shirt, which you've seen before, and this particular tie, which I don't wear that often, but I kind of like it. It's a Sulka Company, Sulka and Company, Sulka. And you can see here, oh, I don't think I focused this, did I? No, I didn't focus this. I'm going to have to focus that camera. Give me a second here. that's a little bit better. There we go. Okay. So there we go. All right. I normally focus that camera for a close shot before I start, but forgot this time. So, of course, the 005 Stunner on wrist, which is a very versatile watch, can definitely fall into the elegant, I would say affordable, elegant category, right around $3,000. Very trim, of course, stainless steel. Hopefully, at some point I'll be able to step up to the gold Stunner, but no word yet. And it is the 20th of April, officially. It's the 20th of April. By the way, Bitcoin took a little dump today. The stock market took a little dump today. And let's see what Bitcoin is doing live here. See if we can pull that up, do another quick time check while we try to get this laptop to load up the numbers. Let's see, I've sent you to your email 3 elegant watches that I currently have in my short list for next year to celebrate our silver wedding anniversary. 25 years married. Carlos in the house, 25 years. Wow. All right, let me see. For some reason, this other page is not loading. But let me see if I can get pull those pictures up. Give me a moment here, Carlos. There it is. There she blows. Give me a moment. Okay, so one possibility is a Breguet. So let's look at that first. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to do an intervention on this one. We would say no on that one, Carlos. It's not an attractive case design. I do not like a case where the lugs just kind of stick out of it like that and look like they were kind of stuck on, where they're not really part of the case. They don't flow from the case. So that's not attractive, so I would pass on that. And people that are going to put comments on the video in there and say, oh, well, it's just your opinion that it's not. Well, I'm right, folks. When I give an opinion, I'm correct, okay? That's how this channel works. So, yeah, Carlos, pass on that one. Now let's take a look at this other one. See, we're doing an intervention here because we like Carlos. We really do. We don't want him to make a mistake, a misguided purchase. And here would be another mistake. So this, first of all, again, the case design, we don't like that case design. Don't let me even get to the dial. I'm not that enamored with the dial either. But yeah, we'll pass on that case design. And of course, we're not going to spend a bunch of money for an 18-karat gold, white gold dress watch when somebody's just going to think it's steel. So there's no reason to do that. You would want, of course, to get yellow gold. So maybe you're just testing me, Carlos. So no, that's a no on that one. That's a no. And now let me go to this other one. It's an Audemars Piguet. And let's take a look. Oh, no. Jeez. Carlos, what are you doing? Are you trolling me, Carlos? You think I'm going to buy some watch with a bunch of screws on the front that's got an integral bracelet and an ugly case design? Do you really think that I'm going to wear something like that I would advise a trusted member of the wrench gang, somebody I consider to be a friend, even though we haven't met in person yet? Do you really think I would suggest that they put that on their wrist? And if I wouldn't suggest you put it on your wrist, I certainly wouldn't suggest you buy it. So no. Let's go 0 for 3 on those 3. Good try. Good try, Carlos, but 0 for 3 on those 3. Fella says, Craig, why would you spend 15 to 20K on a GS when you could buy a 5196 Patek? Okay, so let's show that. Let's talk about that. That's a very good question. I like having good questions on the channel. And actually, let's find the video for the stunner. See if I can find the video here. Stand by. Oh, that's that ugly watch. Let's stop this. Sorry about that, folks. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm trying to find it. Let's do another time check while I try to find this.
For 2019.
All right, I found it. I found it. Switch. Let's play this, and then I'll comment. Give it a moment here.
In honor of the 20th anniversary of the original 1999 manual wind spring drive caliber, this is the Grand Seiko Elegance Collection spring drive hand wound, part of a collection informally dubbed the Thin Dress series. So this 20th anniversary watch is graceful in yellow gold at 38.5 millimeters in diameter on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and it's thin, at 10.5 millimeters thick with a nicely sloped case flank. It will easily slide underneath a tight dress sleeve or cuff. From lug to lug,
okay,
wonderfully traditional. 43 point.
Pause it right there. That's appropriate. Look at the side view of that. Look how elegant that is from the side. Look how stunning. Okay, so we'll address that question. Craig, why would you spend 15 to 20K on a GS when you could buy a 5196 Patek? Okay, here's the answer. The 5196 Patek is a nice watch. It really is. In my opinion, it doesn't rise to the level of that Grand Seiko that you just saw. It's not going to have a 72-hour power reserve. It's not going to have the spring drive movement. It's not going to have the gorgeous snowflake dial. It's just going to generally fall short in a lot of areas. Yes, it's a Patek Philippe, but I don't buy just for a name. I buy for what I'm getting. And I just think, now again, I haven't seen the 002 in person. All this could change when I see it in person. But assuming it's as stunning as I think it's going to be, and people that have actually seen it in person have said it's absolutely stunning in person, assuming that's all true, then I think the 5196 is a great watch, but I think the Grand Seiko takes it to another level. Now, yes, it's a little bit more money than the 5196, but I think, once I get the discount and get a good deal and all that, I think it'll be close. But I think that, I think it's just something a little more special. And don't get me started on the movement that's in the Patek, how it's smaller and all the things about that. And it's just not, I think that the Grand Seiko just takes everything to a whole new level. And so, that's why I'm headed that direction. But that's a very good question. I buy quality, not the name. I go for quality. Somebody asked me the same thing about a Rolex. Why would you buy, like, for example, that diver when you can buy a Submariner, right? Well, the Submariner isn't going to be titanium. The Submariner isn't going to have the spring drive. The Submariner isn't going to be 44 mils, so to be easier for me to read. It's not going to be quite as legible as this. I mean, there's just a lot of reasons why I like that Grand Seiko. And I can wear that Grand Seiko for decades without even have to worrying about servicing it or anything. Of course, I could do the same thing with the Sub. So, I think that when you buy quality, you buy quality. Okay, so Craig, recall that Carlos already has a Breguet. Okay, yeah. He might want to sell that. Kyle's in the house. Leslie wants to know if we can Skype in tomorrow from the skate park. Sure. She has school today online at 2:30. Also, Brent wanted to come, and he isn't in Venice today. Sure, absolutely we can do the report tomorrow. I'm sure the weather's good there every day. That's what California's like, right? Now that I guess you're not in the rainy season anymore. So, absolutely we can do the live report tomorrow, mañana. And Carlos says, not trolling, really. Okay. All right. So hopefully we intervened there, Carlos, and hopefully, we still have time between now and next year, and hopefully you'll come around and realize that it's not a good idea to buy a borderline ugly watch and then wear it. Yeah, not especially when you have some gorgeous stunners already. I mean, you have the Patek 5196J. My gosh, wear that over any of those others, or wear the Date 840. or the Datejust. You've got some wonderful watches. Don't throw some watches into the mix that are subpar. Don't dilute down, what you have with some marginal pieces. I always recommend that people strive to have a better piece and always head towards the better watch, the perfect watch. Head that direction. Don't go back the other way, right? So if you're going to get rid of a watch and get something else, make sure that what you got is significantly better than what you had. Keep stepping up, right? That's what I've done. And with the sport watches that I have right now, the all-arounder here that I have, this 9F all-arounder, I mean, I think I can make a legitimate argument that there's probably not a better all-around watch, do-it-all, everything watch, grab-and-go watch than this 9F Stunner, this 005. I mean, I can make a legitimate argument for that. And I can make a legitimate argument that Grand Seiko Stunner is the ultimate heavy use sport watch. Heavy use, do anything sport watch. I think I can make a legitimate argument in both cases, and that's what you need to be able to make, is an argument like that. Not everybody's going to agree with you, but hopefully eventually they'll see the light and understand that you are correct. Let's see here. What is your ideal size for your gold Stunner? Are you okay with 40 millimeter? No, I think 38.5 mils, which is what this is, for a dress watch, for a watch to use for dress purposes, I think is about as big as I would want to go for my wrist size. This is 38.5 mils, and I think that's plenty big. I think if it was any bigger, it would be no-fly zone. Now, if it was 37, that might even be better. 37 might be perfect, but 38.5, I can live with that, and that's what this is, and that's what the 002 is. So it's at the high end of what I would go for, I think. The GS is thicker than I realized. I still wish they would offer a bracelet. Kyle. Are you talking about the 002? It's about 10 mils thick. It's really not that thick. That one? Yeah, I think it's 10.2 mils thick. I think that's nice and trim. I mean, that's fine. That works for me. That's plenty trim enough for me for a dress watch. You can get too thin to where they look kind of silly. These like 7 millimeter thick watches and stuff. I think that's getting too thin, and that, you risk it not being as durable, and there are issues, potential issues there. Oh, he said that GS is thinner than I realized. Okay, I misunderstood. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is. It's nice and trim. But on a dress watch, Kyle, like that, a watch that you're using strictly as a dress watch, I think having a strap is fine. I think it makes it look actually a little more elegant, especially with the 18 karat gold deployant clasp. I think it's going to be pretty classy. Hopefully, I will see one soon in person, and I'll be able to give a full report. We'll see how that goes. I love Reverso, but the occasion merits something higher for me. Well, Carlos, maybe strap up to an 002. Let's play a little bit more of this video.
4 millimeters with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Though the watch is honoring a technology 20 years old, the proportions, outright dimensions, and specific styling decisions seem to...
Maybe just step all the way up to an 002 and call it a day. I mean, that's going to trump just about any other pieces that you have. I mean, that's even going to get right on up there with that Day-Date 40 as far as style and quality and usability. Of course, it's going to trump the Day-Date when it comes to accuracy. It'll be more accurate. And, of course, it'll have that smooth sweep of the second hand. So you might want to go to something amazing like an 002. View service in the house. I think that Breguet is nice, but a little too plain for my taste. Yep. View serve, what would you consider for that occasion? Okay, let's give him some competitive suggestions. I think the Submariner is the undisputed one and done, do anything watch. They're a little bit thick these days. To me, that would be a little bit thick to use as a dress watch. I think you'd be pushing your luck. I think you're better off to use like a Pepsi or a Batman. They're a little bit thinner. The GMT, it's a little bit thinner than the Sub. I think you might be able to get away with that. But no, the Submariner I think would be a little bit too clunky to use as a dress watch. So I wouldn't call it a one and done. It's a great sport watch, but I don't know that you would want to do that as an all-arounder. I think that might be a little bit chunky for a dress watch. I didn't catch the beginning of this show, Carlos, but I'm partial to the Type XX and Marine. I know Breguet makes nicer watches than those, but they're way out of my league. There you go. The 002 doesn't have the GMT bezel, however, so it would look bigger than the 9F. It'll be interesting to see. We'll see when I get it, how it looks on wrist. I mean, Tim's wrist is tiny, okay? So, and it doesn't look that bad on his wrist.
To hark back to the golden age of men's dress watches in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Now, the timepiece is handsomely equipped with a
I can tell you that right now. So, I think it's going to look okay. We will see. Hopefully, we'll see. He's got to get it in stock for us to see. Oh, let's see. At the thought of Carlos paying $20K for a GS, I mean, Triforce Rich, you never know. I mean, maybe he wants to step up and get the best. Maybe he'll do that. Buserv is in the house. I think white gold President or Calatrava are perfect for weddings. Extremely elegant, but won't steal attention away from the bride and groom. Yeah, but he wants to get something in addition to what he already has. Carlos GS002 could be a runner. Yeah, I mean, it would be a standout. I mean, they're rare as hen's teeth. I mean, they've only had like 3 or 4 in the country, right? So, yeah, you would have something that's extremely hard to get and that very few people have, for sure. And you would have a superior watch, a superior movement, superior accuracy. In a lot of ways, a superior watch. So there's a lot to be said to all that. I already have a Marine 5817, love it. It has been my daily watch for around 10 years. There you go. Crappy Luxuries in the house. Are you feeling better, Crappy? Okay. David Williams, Carlos, credit could also be good. I'm not sure what that means. Hi, Craig. What do you think of the Breitling UB 2010? It's going to be long. David, why don't you do this? Email me a photo to my email, CraigShipp@gmail.com, CraigShipp@gmail.com, and I'll pull it up. That way I don't have to spend the time on the live show here hunting for a photo. You can do the legwork for us and just email it to my name at gmail.com, and I'll pull it up and let me know. It looks too big. Anybody, by the way, that wants me to look at a watch, just feel free to email me a photo or a link to a photo, and I'll pull it up and we can talk about it. It looks too big for dress watch on Tim's wrist, LOL. Well, Tim's wrist is tiny, so yeah, it's going to obviously look bigger on his wrist than it would on mine. Carlos is in the house. Beer Serve, sounds like you're looking for reasons to justify a new watch, Carlos. Of course he is. Yeah. And somebody says, hey, Crappy. And Lance says, Craig, do you like the deployment leather straps? I will know when I see this one in person and see how it lays on the wrist. I've seen a few pictures and a video that kind of shows it, but nothing that shows enough detail that I really just have to see it. I think it'll be okay, and I've talked to others that own. Another subscriber has a Crador that has a similar deployant clasp, and he says it's fine. It's trim enough on the wrist. It certainly helps with wear and tear on the leather strap. You're not flexing the strap as much when you're putting it on and off when you're using a deployant, which is a big plus as far as wear and tear on that strap. So there are reasons for it. But I will know a lot more when I actually see, touch, and feel it and try it on. Let's see. If you really want to step into high horology, then Lange deserves a shout. A shout. Finishing is unbelievable. Oh, well, there you go, Carlos. Think about a Lange. But yeah, I'm stepping up above that. I'm going up to Grand Seiko, Triforce Rich. I'm going all the way up to the top. Lance in the house. David Williams is in the house, of course. Please, Triforce, thank you for what you... Okay. How much is the 002, but in silver? Well, there's a stainless steel version of that watch that's sold out. It was a limited edition. I think it was around 7,000 or 8,000. There's a stainless steel version that's similar, but in stainless steel. The dial's a little bit different. And I think it was around 7,000 something, but it's sold out. It's kind of hard to find now. And by the way, a lot of Grand Seiko models are starting to get hard to get. So if you do want a particular model, get on the list and get it while the getting is good, because it's going to be difficult to get a lot of the Grand Seiko models. They're going to be very difficult to get. So watch it. David's in the house. Crador could be good for Carlos. Absolutely, he could get a Crador. And Chi-Town, Carlos, did you get a chance to watch the video? Okay, don't know what to hope you get better soon at Crappy. Okay. Does Crappy have the thing? I hope he doesn't have the thing. GS above Lange. Yeah, that 002? Are you kidding me? Take a look. My gosh.
Brown, large rectangular
Not
scale
even a close
alligator
call.
leather,
Take a look
bronze
here.
Seiko factory strap. It features a monotone stitch, dark brown, folded edge profile, and you can see on the underside calfskin. It is made in Japan, like almost every other feature of the watch, and it has a preternaturally buttery and worn-in feel. Though it is a brand new strap, it feels wonderfully soft, supple, as though it's already been worn and broken in. So it's some kind of an alchemy here that Grand Seiko achieves with those straps. But there's less mystery about the buckle, which is a solid yellow gold, 18 karat, and oddly Italian-made component.
Absolutely
As I've noticed,
stunning.
Grand
Okay, let me
Seiko's
pause this
gold
again.
clasps generally are...
I mean, just absolutely stunning, stunning, stunning. Yeah, Lange, they don't have anything to touch the spring drive. Nobody has anything to touch the spring drive. They're not even in the same league, so there you go. Just sent you an email with a link for a watch to take a look at. It'll blow your mind. Dan in the house. Let me take a look. Give me a moment here. Give me a moment. Here we go. Oh my, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine somebody buying that thing and then putting it on their wrist? You can't even hardly read it. You can't even hardly get any like contrast between the dial and the hands. I mean, it's a total basket case, and somebody's going to buy that thing for $85,000. Oh, geez. Sucker born every minute. There's a sucker born every minute. Let's see here. Craig, look up the case back on a Lange and compare it to the 002. We can do public poll here. Look up Lange. We don't have to do any polls. I'm the one that makes the decisions here as far as which is the way to go and what's the better watch. And I just told you, we don't have to do a poll. And first of all, the case back on the 002 is okay. The movement and all, it looks okay. It's got pretty good finishing. It's not equal to the one. They've got a higher end Grand Seiko that's like $70,000. That's even takes it to another level, which would totally blow away the Lange. But I'm not looking at the back of the watch anyway. I'm looking at the front of the watch. And that dial on that Grand Seiko will absolutely trump anything Lange has. And of course, the movement, it's not even a close call. So, I mean, Triforce Rich, you're making a little bit of a fool of yourself if you're trying to compare a Lange movement to that manual wind spring drive movement that's in that 002. Lange doesn't have anything that can touch that. So there you go. For durability, for accuracy, for that smooth squeak of the second hand, they can't touch any of that. I don't even know if they're going to have a 72-hour power reserve. So that could be an issue too. Let's see. Crappy, would you use that watch while you dig and use a Oh, jeez. GS Overlang, a good call, Craig. German watches are like German cars, overpriced for what you get and cost you an arm and a leg over ownership of it. Yeah, I buy a watch to wear and use. I mean, that shouldn't be a secret on this channel. I would buy a Lexus LS sedan, high-end Lexus sedan over an S-Class Mercedes any day, and over a 7 Series BMW any day, because I would buy a luxury sedan like that to actually drive and use, and I certainly don't want something that's problematic and is going to be expensive to service and so on and so forth. Cheatown's in the house, 85K, poor sucker, yeah. Tim, no idea of that, really. Okay. Craig, but you're wrong. You, sir. He's of course joking because I'm always right. Okay, Kyle's in the house, 85K. I'll just take that new Invicta 1953 for like $100. There you go. Lange has grander complications in GS and finishing is superior. I don't want the complications. I want a very simple dial. I want a basically three-hand. For my dress watch, I want something very simple. The last thing I want is a cluttered dial with complications. So yeah, I'm not going there. Cheatown's in the house. A poll would suggest that this is a democracy. And like I've said a million times before, it isn't. It's dictatorship. Absolutely. Bree-Fit Dance, the lovely Brianna, is in the house. Brianna, let us know in the chat. This will be an independent poll here. We're doing an independent poll of the lovely Brianna, if she's still in the chat. We'll see if she is. But if you're still in the chat, just put in the chat, yes, if Craig is always right, and no, if Craig is ever wrong. So say no if I'm ever wrong, and say yes if I'm always right. So just go ahead and just type yes in the chat, and we'll be good with that, well, all that. So Dan's in the house. Do you think GS will ever make a spring drive perpetual calendar? That would be my grail. Well, here's the neat thing, Dan. If you have that 002, that 002 Stunner, let's go back to it. There's no date on it.
Made in Italy,
so you
and
don't
I would love
need
to know the supplier. It is a twin
perpetual
trigger
calendar.
spring-loaded trigger
let's
release,
look at this a
so
little more.
you have the ability to lock it in place until you positively displace both of the triggers, so you're secure and you're safe in that regard. Jumping back to the case itself, it's a combination of handsome satin finish, and you can see the case band in vintage fashion is rather spare. It's slender and it's satin finished with a longitudinal grain, and then there's a little bit of a hollow on the underside, as well as a polished lug hood that transitions to a polished mid-case. And all of this is Zaratsu finished, and that is the Grand Seiko and Seiko hand finishing technique, whereby a Zalitz machine with a spinning tin plate is used in conjunction with an artisan's hand pressure to run the surface being milled.
I mean, anybody that can't see that is just, they're just, I don't know, they're just snowed. They've been snowed, right? But here's the thing with the perpetual calendar is you don't need that if there's no date on the thing at all, right? That's the beauty of a grab-and-go watch that's just a three-hand watch. You just wind it up, set the time, and go. And there is no worry about date. That's what's really cool. So somebody, let's see. Okay, let's look. Somebody sent me an email. It's hard for me to keep up with the chats and all these emails, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best, folks. Let's see if I got it. Okay, I got a couple of them here. Here's a Breitling. We'll do the Breitling first. Hold up for a second on your comments. Oh, that's stunning. I have no issues with that. Oh, let me show you. I have no issues with, I think that's stunning. Now, the mesh bracelet, okay, it's kind of cool. It's kind of hip. I kind of like the bracelets that meet to the case better than normal traditional bracelet, but I could go there. I could go there. I could absolutely go there. I wonder how thick that watch is. Where's the data on it? Case. Let's see if they tell us. Dimensions. 14.3 thick, so it's a little bit on the thick side for a 42 mil watch. It's a little bit smaller watch than my diver, and it's a little bit thicker. But that's not the end of the world. And the case doesn't, the lugs don't really flow as much as I would like as far as being rounded. So of course, for the same kind of money, I would buy the 231. I mean, that wouldn't be a close call. I'd buy the 231. So that takes care of that one. Let's see what else we've got here in the email. Give me a moment here. The Lange. We'll look at the Lange. We'll look at the Lange. We got open mind. Let's let this load in and we'll look at it. Okay, here we go. Let's pull this up. Okay, so to me, that is way too busy, a dial. And see, remember, with a macro shot, you can easily read that time. But if you look at that in real life, if you had that on your wrist and you looked at it in real life, the portion of the dial that's showing you the time would be pretty small. So from a legibility standpoint, that would be marginal at best. Little tiny date window. I guess that's a little tiny date window. Well, I don't know what the 4 is there. Oh, that's for the leap year or something, whatever that is down there, the red 4. So it's got the 25th. I mean, it's complicated, obviously. It's a complicated watch. I don't like the way the lugs just come right off of the case. They don't really flow into, they look almost like they're stuck on. And they do that with some dress watches. I don't think it flows that nicely with the case. So no, that would be, I would pass. I would pass on that one. That would be a no-fly zone. And of course, it's not even yellow gold, so that would be a pass on that. Let's go back to the inbox and see. We got one more. We got a Patek from Lance. We got a Patek. And I can tell you right now, this would be a pass. I guess that's a female. Is that a lady's watch? If that's a lady's watch, then maybe for a lady. But certainly not a man for that one. I would pass on that. And let's see what the other image was. Yeah, it's the same watch. Yeah, I'm hoping that's not a man's watch. It looks kind of like it'd be good for a lady's watch. Otherwise, I would pass on that. I'd probably pass on it for a lady too because it's not yellow gold. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Lange is an SLS Gullwing and GS is a nice Lexus. Exactly, and I would take the Lexus every time. Exactly. If you like the Lexus more, that's fine, I guess. Absolutely. Because, yeah, I buy my watches to wear and use, not just to look at or keep in a case somewhere. David Smith's in the house. Craig, I sent you an email with link to Breitling. Okay, we already looked at that. Not all German watches are overpriced. We have already discussed Meistersinger, another great, mostly tool watch focused brand is Sen. Built to high standards, great value for the money. There you go. Absolutely. Then you can't say that Grand Seiko is above Lange. Oh, absolutely. It's an absolutely better choice than the Lange for a dress watch. Absolutely. We're talking about an elegant dress watch. This is what this particular show is about, an elegant dress watch, and that 002 would definitely trump anything from Lange because it's going to be more accurate. It's going to have a 72-hour power reserve. It's got a stunning dial. It just trumps it in pretty much every respect. It's probably got a better strap on it, better deployment class. Everything is pretty much better. So yeah, it trumps it. And Lamont says, word, Craig. Leon says that Tudor seller is smoking the crack pipe of overpricement. A crappy looking watch that looked like it was dug up from the ground. And David says yes. And Busurf says no. Lamont is in DA. And Thomas says no. We got Lamont, LJ in the house. Triforce Rich. Lamont, did you get yourself in the will yet to get the date? Cheetown, a spring drive annual counter or perpetual counter is something Crador would do. Crador is more akin to complicated Langes. Exactly. You want Bree says yes, I'm always right. And of course, she's the only one that gets a vote on this, by the way. You other guys that voted no up there up the top, as if I didn't notice. I noticed. But Bree is the one that made the decision. She's the judge here. So she made the decision, and her ruling is final. And there is no appeal. When Brianna makes a decision, that's the way it is. Let's see. I just sent you an email with a link to a blog to watch article about Lange. Check out the pictures at the bottom of the page. Oh, sorry. I didn't look at the bottom. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can do this again. Lange. Fortunately, I didn't delete your email. I had it here still handy. Let me get this loaded in, and then I'll scroll down. I will try to do this. And the gardener's out there spreading some fertilizers and different things. You might be able to hear the machine. I have to apologize for that, but he's out there working. And let's keep going here. See, I don't like the way those lugs come off of the case. I just don't. That's just not the design I would want. Yeah, it's just not an attractive watch. It's just not. No, it's not what I would call elegant. It's a little bit tacky. Let's see what else we got here. I mean, absolutely, you're going to have some great detail. But again, you can get a Crador, and you're going to get the same level of detail. You see how thick it is, too, on the wrist? How it's sitting up on the wrist? It just looks ugly. I mean, somebody's going to think you got like some kind of cheap watch. I mean, they're not going to know what the hell that is. They're going to be like, oh, what is that? You know, I mean, and I don't buy my watches for the forums, the people in the forums to ooh and ah and all that stuff. I buy it to wear out and about, doing deals and, you know, negotiating and so forth. And if I'm going to be wearing a gold stunner, first of all, I want it to be yellow gold, and I want it to look stunning on wrist. I want it to be nice and trim with a nice shape to it. And just so if I'm doing a negotiation, you know, and I'm like shooting the cuff, right? And that watch is coming out a little bit. I want it to have a little bit of an impact, you know. So that's what we do there when we're doing deals out in the field. It was actually a date just. I'm going to read Bree's comment again. She says, yes. Bree says, I can Skype in if you'd like. Absolutely Skype in, Bree. Absolutely. I'll hear it ring. Yeah. Okay, so Lamont, it has gold and silver. Okay. My dudes, I found my dad's got date just, not date 8. MF lied to me. I just sent you pictures of Patek Neptune. What do you think? All right, let me see if I can pull it up before Bree calls in. If she calls in, well, no, this is a Rolex triple calendar. Yeah, this is stunning. I will tell you. But look at that play in that bracelet. Looks like there's a lot of play in that bracelet. And that's a stunner. But again, I'm not big on really complicated watches for my dress purposes. I would go with something a little simpler and a little more elegant. If I was going to go with a Rolex, it would just be a day date. Call it a day. I'd just go with a day date. That's enough complication for me. On the Rolex side of things, okay, so let's see. Let's catch up on these comments real quick. And Triforce Rich says, Lamont, that's unacceptable. What are you going to do about it? Lamont, maybe your dad pawned the day date to repair the car you wrecked. Uh-oh. Carlos, did you buy your daughter a nice watch? There's a new Breitling, which is only 10 millimeters thick, Heritage 57. There you go, Carlos. No daughter, only boys. When they finish college, I will. Okay. And nice. I'm guessing you will not be buying them a GS. Carlos, where do your boys attend university? Okay. The lovely Bree is calling in to answer this call. And let me get the headphones.
Hello.
And hello, Bree.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Are you having a good day?
Yes, I am.
A good Monday? I think it's Monday, right?
Yes, it is.
Hard for us to keep
Monday.
track, you know.
Good productive day so
Yeah,
far.
it's hard for us to keep track. These days are blending into one another.
This-
So, is today push-up day?
It is push-up day.
Do you want to show us how you do them?
Sure, I can show.
Okay, how are you going to position the camera?
Let's
You
see.
might have to put the laptop down on the floor, right?
Yeah. Like this?
Okay, well, we can't see. Wait, stop. We can't see your whole body that way. Can you do it at an angle so that we can see your legs and everything? Okay, that's good enough. Yep. Let's see it. Let's see if you can do really good form. All right, go a little slower, Bree. Just a little slower. And I want you to go all the way down. Hold your head up. Go all the way down. Slower. And then up. Pretty good. Now, have you done them today already, or is this your first time?
I did 15 before.
Okay, you got to get up to 25 or 30. I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm not going to make you do them all here now. But I
Yeah.
want you to do 3 sets, at least 3 sets of 25. Wow, she's going for it. Bree is going for it. All right. All right, don't do too many. I don't want you to be out of breath. Okay, so can you sit Indian style there and talk to us? Okay.
Indian style?
Yeah, well, just there on the floor, just talk to
Oh,
us.
yes.
Okay, so do you feel like you're making progress? Do you feel like your form is getting better, that it's easier for you to keep your back straight and do them,
I
or is it
do.
still just as hard?
Um, well, obviously I do get out of breath, but I think that I'm getting better because I have more time to exercise.
Okay, and when you first did the push-ups, do you remember how many you could do when you first did them?
Like 5 or 10.
Yeah, and your form was not even as good, right?
No.
So now you can do like at least 15 with good form.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you're making progress. But each time you do it, you need to really push yourself. And you need to really concentrate on that form.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you're going to make progress. And you will make progress. Ab-
Yes. It's hard work, but it's
yeah,
good. It's worth
absolutely.
it.
And you're doing your schooling remotely?
I am every day.
And is that working out?
Yep.
Okay.
Everything's good.
You're getting A's?
Yes, so far, yes.
Okay, good. Because you're going to need to get that scholarship money later, and the A's are going to help that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All
Hard.
right, folks, put in the chat if you have any questions, because Bree's not going to be here that long. I don't want to take her away from what she's doing for very long, and I'm going to tell you how you can support her. There is a link in the description to briefitdance.com, briefitdance.com, and you can go there and you can become a Patreon. You can also send money via the Cash App. Isn't there a PayPal link in there too?
Yes,
And also,
it's
what's that other one?
Venmo, Cash App,
Venmo and Cash App. So just about any method that you want to send her a little tip, you can send her a tip.
or Bitcoin.
Or oh, she loves Bitcoin. If you want to send some Bitcoin, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So any other pearls of wisdom that you have for them?
Well, to hold a hold long, like for Bitcoin.
Buy and hold the Bitcoin.
Buy and hold Bitcoin for long term.
And when you say long term,
Strong
how long are you talking about when you say long term?
hand for life.
For life. There you go. Hold it for your life. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That is a strong hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No matter the curves.
Yeah, just no matter what it goes up, down, whatever it does, just keep
Yeah.
holding.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you nervous when it goes down, right?
No. It's just a roller coaster.
I'll tell you what, a lot of folks, a lot of investors could learn a lot from you, young lady. That's the way it is. And Eduardo says, Craig, what time will your show be tomorrow? I didn't know you were going to do a live. I usually am about 5 o'clock every day here. I've been doing it 5 o'clock fairly consistently. So pretty close to 5 o'clock. Subscribe to the channel, click the bell so that you'll get notifications. And also subscribe to Bree's channel so that you'll get notifications when she puts a video. And follow her on Instagram. She puts some really cool content up on
Yes,
Instagram.
I do. I am active there.
All right. Anything else before we let you go?
No, that is it.
And let me see. Craig, what would you say is the most stunning dial in the world? Well, when I see the 002, I'll let you know if it's the most stunning. It might be. Leslie is a stunner person. Leslie is a stunner even in person. Oh my gosh, I'm sure. Yes, and
I'm
she's
sure
and
he is, yeah.
she's smart and she's, fun, and so there's all that. Lance is in the house. I sent you a picture of Rolex Triple County. Okay, I opened that up. Carlos, USD or San Diego State. Okay, depends on which Lange that JS Craig wants. Is comparing it to the coolest would be the Lange. Okay. Uh, and let's see. Craig, does the superior accuracy and reliability of the 9F as compared to the spring drive movement justify the need to replace a battery every 3 years? Well, the big benefit of a 9F is it's a grab and go watch. You don't even have to wear it. Whereas with the spring drive, if you have an auto wind spring drive like the Diver Stunner, you got to wear it to wind it, right? Your movement winds it. The beauty of the 9F is it can sit down for 5 days and you can grab it and go. It's going to be already accurate, already ready to go. It doesn't have to have movement to wind it. And of course, that 002 Stunner, the dress watch, it needs to be manually wound. So you need to wind it manually. So they all have advantages and disadvantages. And David says, great Catholic school, good law school as well. They're having a little conversation. Craig, how about the Patek 5227J? I think that's the one we looked at the other day. That's a stunner. Yeah, I think that's a stunner. I think that's the one we looked at the other day. Is that a Lang or Hublot? Okay. USD, the rich kids school for those who couldn't get into USC. Okay. Lange is owned by frickin' Reichmont. GS is self-owned. Enough said. There you go. JK Good School. Okay, they're talking about schools. Okay, well, we're going to let you go, young lady, unless there's anything else you want to convey.
No, that is it. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming in. And folks, come on, use the link. It's in the description. Go to briefitdance.com, briefitdance.com, and show Bree a little bit of love. Show her some love. Support her. Become a patron.
Patreon. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
There you go. It's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that to call in. Call into the show. Just like that. That young lady's going places. I'm telling you she is. She's no joke. She's not letting the current situation get her down. Let's see. My fellow San Diego State University alumni used to say USD stood for University of Spoiled Daughters. Chi, you are looking at another one, and yeah, I remember hearing that. Those daughters like coming over to party, that's for sure. Trivorce Rich. Carlos, Lange 1 is not for me. I see too messy. I like 1815. Let's see. Philanthropus was agreeing, Craig. Whoever deleted that comment deserves to be exiled from the Wrench Gang. Got to run. Thanks, Craig and all. David's got to run. He's in motion. He's making things happen. He was using a very naughty spelling of horology. Okay. Triforce Rich, we all know about the Catholic university students and their partying. He's got a nice scholarship. There you go. Absolutely. That's the way to do it. Craig, every time you say gold stunner, I wonder where the day-date is. Haha. There you go. Well, there are a lot of gold stunners, not just day-dates. There are other gold stunners out there. Let's see here. Triforce Rich. Nice. You should be proud, Carlos. I can tell you're a good dad. Oh, yeah. Think the son needs that Explorer once he graduates. There you go. That'd be a great watch for his son. Carlos, sounds like there might be a Rolex in your son's future. There you go. And Trashy Larry, it looks like got hit by the wrench. Bree, what supplements do you take, or do you take any at all? Well, maybe she'll be in the chat, but I can tell you that I think she takes very few. I think she takes is it a B12, those little B12 pills occasionally, but she just tries to eat right. She tries to get really good nutrition. And I think that's a big plus. Carlos in the house, try. I would prefer that he would get an Explorer, as it is much more versatile, but it seems he is more on the sub. We will see. Well, there you go. Bruce Williams going live with the Dog Man in 30 minutes. Well, there you go. Are you going to check it out, Craig? I doubt it. I'll probably be eating dinner, but I doubt it. I got other things I check out. Sometimes I watch some of the Dog Man stuff, but not too often. Buy and hold. Yeah, there you go. Trashy Larry was timed out. Was timed out. Got the wrench on the head. 1700 hours Eastern Time. Buserv, I can imagine if Crappy is still watching that he's taking notes for a future show. The most bizarre channel on YouTube. What, his or mine? I nominate Crappy Luxury for Wrench Gang. Who's with me? I don't even see Crappy Luxury in here. Which one is Crappy Luxury? Hi, Craig, Bree, and everyone else, says Derek in the house. I support Crappy for a wrench. Okay. And She-Town Craig, could you remember when your channel was about everything else other than live streams with trolls fighting over watch choices? I've done live streams on and off over the years. I did a number of them back in the Google Plus days. I did some live streams. Primarily, I was a guest on Dan McDermott's Google Plus Week. He had a weekly show called Google Plus Week. I would be a guest on that from time to time. And we did some live stuff. And then there was a long period of time where I wasn't really doing any live stuff, just mainly produced videos. Some watch stuff, but, just general, all kinds of things like I like to do. The reason I'm doing so many live streams now is because of the lockdown. And quite frankly, folks have asked for me to do them as often as possible. So I'm trying to do that during the lockdown. So we all have a little diversion, a little something that we can do. So there you go. And, okay, bye, Bree. Okay. Craig, do you remember when... Okay, I already read that one. I'm sorry. Craig, what's the most stunning dial in the world? Now, I think I read that too. I think we'll see. When I see the 002, that might be it. RWAG, sorry I'm late. Zoom conference call. Well, I don't blame you at all. You're out there making things happen. Absolutely. What do you think is a better movement for a one-watch solution, a 9F or a spring drive? Michael, tell me the size of your wrist. Give me that information. And tell me primarily what you're going to be using it for. Do you dress sporty most of the time? Are you looking for something that's on the sporty side? Do you dress in a suit like I'm dressed right now a lot? How do you dress most of the time? And what size wrist do you have? Give me those two pieces of information, and then I will definitely give you a recommendation. Derek's in the house. There are other stunners, but there's only one Day-Date. The rest are just others. Day-Date is a great all-around dress/sport watch. It's one of the few that could actually be an all-around dress/sport watch. In other words, it's the only dress watch that really is rugged enough to be used as an all-arounder. If you're going to get something like the 002 I've been talking about, that ain't an all-arounder. That's a straight-up dress watch. You're not going to wear that as an all-arounder. Unless you're always dressed in suits, you're a lawyer, and you're always dressed in suits, you're always going to like parties where you're dressed in suits, you're always dressed up, then obviously you could wear an 002 all the time, right? But if you want something that you're going to wear at the beach, that you're going to wear at the pool, that you're going to wear, hiking in the mountains, whatever, you could do all of that with a Day-Date. Absolutely, it's an extremely versatile watch. I've said that for years. I've wore mine in all kinds of circumstances. I also usually had a sport watch, too, that I could rotate in. But there were times when I'd be wearing the Day-Date where, you'd be like, wow, he's wearing the Day-Date out on the boat, right? Yeah, I did it. Absolutely, I did it. I wore it in the pool. I wore it in the hot tub. I've worn it. You name it, I've worn it. I even wore it one time playing volleyball, I think. It happens. Sometimes you just have the watch and you just, you end up impromptu doing something, and it is what it is. I'm not going to take my watch off and set it down somewhere. Are you kidding me? Let's see. I take B12 vitamin daily. There you go. That's what it was, B12. Crappy, and you have not seen the former Miss MD. There you go. You will have, okay, Bruce Williams is kind of boring on the live streams with the dog man. The exclusivity here now is not having a wrench. I would love to see Dogman and Bruce Williams do the Bree Fit Dance push-up challenge. Triforce Rich, I listened to the Dogman's advice and now own 500 Batmans and don't know what to do with them. My life is over. Help me. Derek, the Day-Date is king. Okay. Let's see. For future live streams, I'd like to see Craig bring on local businesses and also discuss EDC in a broader sense. We are working on possibly having some shows where Rachel interviews local businesses. She's expressed some interest in doing that, and hopefully we'll be able to get that going on the channel here. So stay tuned. And by the way, when Rachel does shows, please show her some support. Like, comment, and share, whatever, or at least like and comment and give her a thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. Everyday carry in men's fashion, yes, absolutely. We will talk about all these things. Why is your name Trashy, Larry? He's timed out, poor guy. Carlos, why are you bearing Larry with the wrench? Poor guy. R. Wag says, today, WTI crude oil was going for negative $18. In other words, they were paying you $18 a barrel to take delivery of the oil. I mean, if all the storage facilities, what's that? Lent or something? When all the storage facilities are filled, right, there's nowhere for the oil to be stored, and they keep pumping it out of the ground. I mean, that's a problem, right? Where are you going to put this stuff? It's a real problem. I think things are going to get real interesting. I think this week, you're starting to see all these protests and stuff. I think things are going to get real interesting real fast in a lot of ways. So, yeah. And by the way, folks, if you've got a luxury watch that you've been thinking about getting, I would hone in and I would make offers and I would get some deals. I would get some deals. It's a buyer's market right now. Now, some of the watches, like, for example, some of the Grand Seikos are getting spotty and getting hard to get, too. So I would probably act sooner rather than later if you want to snag something. Let's see. Sounds like Day-Date, jacuzzis, and attractive members of the opposite sex go together in one sentence. Well, yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, I just read those trashy Larry messages. Hilarious. Um, I listened to Dogman's advice, and now I have uh, Phobos, I don't know what that is, and 5 gallons of peanut butter for dog training. Rachel is smoking. Rachel is a very attractive young lady, yes. And she has 5 kids. Can you imagine? She is amazing. Okay, Carlos, Craig, I assume you have blocked Crappy Luxury on other channel and you're not seeing his comments in your channel. Well, he shouldn't. If he's blocked here, then he shouldn't be able to put comments in here. But in any event, I'm sure if he puts something inappropriate in, one of the members of the Wrench Gang will deal with him. I like the SBGA 293 and the SBGN 003 as a one-watch solution. It's also a 9F versus spring drive consideration. There you go. The name may be... See, here's the thing with the spring drive. That second hand, I mean, that is just mesmerizing. I mean, watching that thing go around, it's just mesmerizing. And then the other neat thing about the spring drive is you don't have to worry at all about a battery replacement. There is no battery. There's no capacitor. There's no energy storage device at all except for the spring, the main spring in it that is, on most of them, it's auto-wind. It winds up from your movement. The 002 Stunner, of course, is a manual wind dress watch, but most of them are auto-wind. And so you really have nothing to worry about. You can literally wear that watch for decades, and there's nothing to worry about, right? Whereas with the 9F, you do have to replace the battery every 3 years. So, and you don't get that buttery smooth sweep of that second hand. So they both have pluses, I mean, and minuses. I mean, the plus to the spring drive is some of the things I just said. The plus to the 9F is just extreme accuracy. Now, this spring drive is very, very accurate as well, but the 9F even takes it to another level. They're both extremely robust. I mean, you really can't go wrong with either one of those, in my opinion. That's why I own both, right? The name may be a coincidence at Carlos the Troll. Crappy accounts have more terrible names like Crappy's Welfare Check, Crappy's Double Coins, Crappy's Battle. Okay. Lance in the house, what do you think about Sen watches? Some of them are pretty cool. Yeah, I'd take it on a case-by-case basis. Right now, Saudi Arabia has never had a better time. Drove Russia out of being competitive in the oil market, and Iran is too busy dealing with Sharona. Okay. Hi, what's your opinion about the Rolex Day-Date 36mm or 40mm Day-Date? Is the 40mm worth extra money? I think you got to have a pretty big wrist to go with the 40mm. I think most people, if your wrist is 7.5 inches or smaller, 7.5 or smaller, I think you're good to go with 36. I think if you have a really big wrist, 7.5 or bigger, then you might want to go with the 40mm. But I kind of would lean towards the 36mm. I just think it's classic and just gorgeous on wrist. I wore them for 40 years. They're just fantastic. So you can't go wrong with a 36mm Day-Date. And they look very impressive. Even though they're the 36mm watch, they look very impressive on wrist. And they're very comfortable on wrist. See, the 40mm is going to be heavier. It's going to not be quite as comfortable on wrist. So there's going to be some potential issues there. Crappy, we can see you, but he cannot. He blocked you in other channel as viewer. I don't remember. I mean, I don't remember blocking. What do you mean other channel? I mean, this is the only channel I have. Megan Pendergraph. Craig, can you show your Swiss Army watch? Did you go with... I have a Winger. No, I did not get it from Steve, Megan. I bought it many, many years ago from Costco. Many, many years ago from Costco. Yeah, I'll get it. Hold on. And then I'm going to catch up on the comments I'm going to catch up on the comments and then wrap this puppy up. I'm getting hungry, to tell you the truth. So here it is. I like it. It's a nice, comfortable piece. It is a winger. Now this thing's got to be, 20 years old. I don't know. Maybe not that old. Maybe 15. No, maybe it's 20. I've had this thing a long time. I mean, I can't imagine they're not readily available on like eBay or something like that. But I like the watch. I mean, it's very comfortable on wrist. It's not too thick. I mean, it's just a great beater watch, right? So very solid feeling. It kind of has an integral bracelet. The way this bracelet is designed, you would classify this as an integral bracelet, which I don't like. But I mean, this was like $50 or something. Let's give you a closer look at that. So I mean, what do you want, right? But yeah, they're cool little watches. I can't imagine they're not readily available somewhere, reasonably. Let's see. Okay, we're going to get ready to wrap this up. How about Carlos draining his swimming pool to fill it up with there you go, with crude, absolutely. Oh. Hey, Dan, you must not subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm live right now.
I was just calling to tell you about this exciting watch.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. All right. I'll talk to you later. And then I got to eat anyway. Carry on.
All right.
Bye.
Later.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm just saying the Carlos stress. Okay. Can't see any. Okay. Okay. Send our unapologetic, well-made tool watches. There you go. Craig, Snowflake or 231 for someone that can only have one of them. The Snowflake, if you've got decent eyes, okay, so the legibility is not an issue, right? The Snowflake is gorgeous, and the Snowflake is super comfortable on wrist. The Snowflake is a decent all-around watch. It's a little bit on the big side for some people because it's 41 mils. But if you like that size, and you can rock that size for an all-arounder, so you're only going to have one watch, right? So that's why I'm assuming we're talking about an all-arounder. I think the Snowflake is fantastic. Now, the 231 is more of a straight-up sport watch. It's not going to be as versatile as the Snowflake. It's going to be a straight-up sport watch, right? But if that's what you want, if you want a straight-up sport watch, I mean, obviously, I love the 231. It's sitting right there. I've got one, right? I wouldn't own it if I didn't love it. And it's a stunner. So that's a tough call. But if you want an all-arounder that you're going to wear all the time and something super comfortable on wrist, you can't go wrong with a Snowflake. And if you want one that's more of a sport watch, and you're going to wear that all the time, I wear that one most of the time. That's on my wrist most of the time. Let's face it. So, yeah, I think that that's what you have to decide. Is what do you want, a sport watch, or do you want something a little more versatile, more of an all-arounder? What's your opinion on Rolex Oyster Date Precision? Do you think the 34 mil case is too small to be worn daily? Lance in the house. I would want to go with something that's a 36 mil, personally, for me. But if you have small wrists, you could probably rock that. I'd have to get a hell of a deal on it. Or otherwise, I'd go with something that was a 36 mil. And I'd go with something that's some of the precision or manual wind. I would not want a screw down crown watch that's manual wind. I wouldn't want to go there. Craig, do you still have that switchblade that comes with the box? Yes, I do. If you want to buy it, let me know. And Kyle's in the house. Have you tested the accuracy of that winger for fun? No, but it's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate. Plot twist. Craig finds out that Winger is worth Patek money. There you go. Does the Winger get any wrist time? No. I haven't worn it for years. Yeah. You went and showed your Winger on a live stream, Craig. That's a family channel. Yeah. I recently bought a Winger GMT on eBay. There you go. Buy crappy, get better. Okay. Megan in the house. Craig, tell me your opinion on this watch. Are you talking about, the Ball Engineer Marvelite automatic watch, gray 40 millimeter. Okay. Here, Megan, let's do this. I'm getting ready to wrap up this show. See if you can come in a little bit earlier on the stream, if possible, and email me links to the watches you want me to discuss. That makes it a lot easier. That way I can click on the link and I can bring it up on the screen and we can show it. So go to Chrono 24 or somewhere, get the links to the watches that you want me to show and discuss, and email them to me. My name, CraigShipp@gmail.com, and I'll show them and we'll discuss them. I don't mean to put you off, but that's the best way to do this, and me not being fumbling around trying to search and find it and during the live show. Craig, did you say you had a Seiko Sarb? No, I don't think I ever had a Sarb 033. I had an SBDC 007. I had the Shogun. I did have a Seiko Bellamatic many, many years ago in 1972 or something. Lance, the only issue is the 6694 Oyster date is a manual wine. A date 1500 would be more practical. Exactly. I would not do a manual wine watch with a screw-down crown. That would be a pain. Kevin, yes, very nice watch. Probably it would not make sense to have anything more expensive than that. Now I'm regretting not getting the 035. Okay, yes, I agree. I bought presidential for my 33. Haven't received yet. Okay. Craig, any updates on the 002? No, unfortunately, and I talked to Steve today, and he didn't give me any information about if he has a shipping date or anything yet. We're getting to it. It's the 20th. My gosh, he said this month, April. We've only got 10 days left. I hope they don't jerk him off again. Excuse my French. I hope they ship the watch. I was going to say ship the damn watch. Not that I'm bitter. Not that I'm not happy. But yeah, that could be the case. I could be bitter and I could be unhappy. Craig, why don't you give the Winger away to Goodwill? I was hoping that it would fit Brianna. I was going to give it to Brianna. I'll give it to somebody at some point. Auction the Winger for charity. It's not worth very much money. Triforce Rich, give it to Lamont and double his net worth live on the stream. Enjoy the sweet potato power meal, Craig. Absolutely. I'm going to have some salmon with it today, I think. Kevin, never used the bracelet on the Sarb. I have it new. I always use it on a NATO. All right, folks. We're going to call it a day. Thank you all again. Click subscribe. Click the bell. And we will do it again. We'll try to do it again tomorrow. And hopefully Kyle will have a live report from Venice Beach. That should be exciting.